Posted by UT friend husband. Something weird is happening between my husband and my best friend Dana, and I don't know if my head is just making up stories or if their actions are really suspicious. My husband Phil and I have been married for 4 years and are both in our early 30s. We are very happy together. He loves me a lot, but sometimes I have caught him lying to protect my feelings, which I do not really like. Dana has been my best friend since college and we were roommates. Just to give some background about Dana, she was in a long-term relationship with her boyfriend for 3 years, but they broke up last year. He was very insecure about Dana and was very controlling about who Dana hung out with. Dana's boyfriend was really jealous of Phil for some reason, and they would avoid hanging out with us. However, since the breakup, Dana and I have gotten closer and spend a lot of time shopping, going out to restaurants, etc. Phil also loves to tag along with us occasionally, but not always. Phil and Dana also get along well, and Dana has told me that if I find another Phil, I need to set up a blind date between them ASAP. 1 month ago, Phil, Dana, and I had planned to go to a concert in our town. Phil was really excited as it was one of his favorite bands. I started feeling unwell the morning of the concert and just wanted to rest. Phil was disappointed but told me that we could offer our tickets to our friends, and we could see the band some other time. I didn't really want to spoil it for him, so I called a few of my friends, and my friend Jess, a mutual friend with Dana, was happy to go to the concert in my place. Phil still wanted to cancel, but I insisted he go as I would have felt bad if he missed the concert. They all went together and enjoyed the concert. Phil kept sending me photos all through the night. The concert ended at 11 p.m., but I slept before that due to my medication. When I woke up in the morning, I was alone in bed. I quickly checked my messages, and Phil's last message was at 11 p.m., saying they were leaving the concert and he should be home soon after dropping Dana off. I went to the living room, and Phil was sleeping on the sofa in the same clothes he wore to the concert. I waited for him to get up. I asked him about the night and when he returned home. He said that he came back home between 2 and 3 a.m. He explained that there were multiple accidents outside the concert venue, and the traffic was horrible. He said he dropped Dana at her place and came home directly. I asked him why he was sleeping on the sofa, and he told me that he did not want to disturb me and was also too tired to change out of his clothes. Phil had some glitter on his clothes, which he said was from dancing in the crowd at the concert. So, he just crashed on the sofa and slept immediately. It seemed plausible, and Dana also confirmed the story. However, the weird behavior started after that night. Firstly, Phil stopped tagging along with me when I was hanging out with Dana. He would come up with the most unbelievable reasons to avoid going out with me when Dana was there. Phil has also been a bit aloof with me since that night, and I have noticed him spending a lot more time in his home office playing video games at night instead of coming to bed. 2 weeks ago, I invited Dana to our house for drinks after we went out shopping, and she also started giving reasons to avoid coming to our place. Dana has not visited our place since that day. The only time Phil and Dana saw each other was during a house party at my friend's place last weekend. I was observing their behavior, and they were both avoiding each other. I asked Phil why he is avoiding Dana, and he said that it's just my imagination. Dana also said the same but then started giving me ridiculous reasons for not coming over to our apartment. I feel in my gut that their behavior is suspicious, but I am not sure if it's just my insecurity. How do I know what is going on? I have gone through Phil's phone multiple times, but the only messages between him and Dana are very sparse, and there have been no messages since that night. I feel something happened between them that night, and both are just avoiding answering even the basic questions about why they are avoiding each other. Am I overreacting for assuming the worst? I really do not want to come off as insecure, but it is eating me up inside. Update 1. I had posted last week regarding my husband and my best friend avoiding each other after they went to a concert together last month. I really wanted to thank you all for helping me in my time of need and with my tech questions. Sorry for the long post, but I confronted Phil and Dana and finally found out what happened. I was briefly able to get access to Phil's phone last Friday night. I did not have time to retrieve any deleted messages. However, thanks to someone's idea, I opened his camera gallery and went through the photos he took that night. One important thing that jumped out was Dana's outfit. Dana was wearing a white shirt and denim shorts to the concert. Since it was an outdoor concert, she took off her shirt and was only wearing a blue bikini top. She had some glittering fake tattoos on her shoulder and back. By the end of the night, she was wearing her shirt again. So, for the glitter to be on Phil's car seat and his clothes, Dana had to have taken her shirt off in the car. I was so angry and could not keep my cool anymore. I went and confronted Phil. He immediately broke down and started apologizing to me. He said it was his fault that he took it too far and had been feeling very guilty all month. He said that he did not want to tell me because I would have been very upset, and he just wanted to forget it. I told him to tell me what happened in detail, and he did. He told me that Dana and Jess both got drunk during the concert. Phil had to hold Dana while taking her to the car. Dana slept in the car for an hour while Phil was driving. When she woke up, she started playing music and singing loudly. At one point, she told Phil that it was hot in the car, and before he could lower the AC temperature, she took off her shirt. Phil said he was very uncomfortable at this point and asked Dana if it was okay to drive to our house so she could sleep in the guest room, as her apartment would have added another 30 minutes to the drive. She insisted that she wanted to go home, so Phil took her home. As she got out, she asked Phil if he could walk her back to her apartment. She still felt tipsy. After she opened the apartment door, she hugged Phil and said thank you. Phil said he was sorry that the hug lingered too long, and they had a moment. I had tears rolling down my eyes and asked him if they kissed. Phil told me, of course not, but he cannot describe it, but there was definitely a moment between them. He told me that Dana invited him in, but he immediately told Dana that he had to leave and made a run for the car. I kept on asking what happened, and he just said they had a moment that he felt he could not control and just got out of there. After he came home, Dana messaged Phil that he should have come inside the apartment. Phil kept telling Dana that it was an accident and to forget about it. But Dana kept asking Phil if he was attracted to her and if he had a good time. Phil told Dana that he was not attracted to her and never would be and told her not to tell me about it. She agreed, and he deleted all the messages. He said he sat on the sofa because they were messaging each other for a long time, and he didn't want me to hear it. I asked him if he could retrieve the messages, and he told me he deleted them and also cleaned all his archive and sent messages. He just wanted to forget the incident ever happened. I showed him my post and, thanks to a comment, we went to find the messages on the SD card. Phil was right, and the messages were the same as what Phil described. I'm still very mad at Phil for not telling me about it in the first place. This is where it got super weird. I invited Dana for brunch yesterday and met her. I told her that I talked to Phil, and he confessed everything that happened that night during the concert. I asked her if she wanted to give her side of the story. Dana immediately became defensive. The story was the same until they got to her apartment building. Dana said that after she opened her apartment door, she gave Phil a long hug for a great evening. She said that she could feel Phil wanted more, but nothing happened beyond that. I asked her why she invited him inside the apartment. She told me that she wanted to offer him some water and a snack as he had been driving for a long time. I said that it's a really suspect move to invite my husband into her apartment at 1 a.m. when she felt he wanted more from her than a hug. She said that I was just being jealous and crazy. We started arguing, and she blurted out that she was not the one pitching a tent during the hug. I told her she is never going to see Phil again in her life, and our friendship is done. She started shouting that she knows Phil loves her and he does not act on it because of me. She went on about how I'm always complaining about Phil and do not deserve him. She said that Phil has been so nice to her after the breakup, and she feels he would leave me for her if he had a chance. She finally said that she could make Phil way happier than I ever could, and he has started to realize it now. At this point, I just wanted to avoid a blowout and walked away. I talked to Phil at night about what Dana said. He confirmed to me that he did pitch a tent when he hugged Dana that night, and he does not know why. Dana held his hand and invited him after the hug, and he just ran towards his car. He said he feels guilty about it, but it does not mean he has feelings for Dana. He said he is very happy being married to me and would like to keep it that way for the rest of his life. Although I am relieved that nothing happened between them, it has been hard for me to process my thoughts. I feel mad at Phil for hugging Dana in the middle of the night when she was barely wearing anything. He should know better. On the other hand, I feel like a jerk myself because my best friend had a thing for my husband, and I had no clue about it and pushed both of them to go to the concert together.